Good evening, and welcome to the Crypto Overnighter. I'm Nicodemus, and I will be your host as we take a look at the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. And remember, none of this is financial advice. And it's 10 p.m. on a Tuesday, June 6th, 2023. And welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter, where we have no sponsors, no hidden agendas, and no BS. But we do have the news, so let's get to that because frankly, Gary Gensler has declared war on crypto. I say that because the SEC filed a lawsuit against Coinbase. This suit alleges violations of federal securities laws. The SEC claims Coinbase has been operating simultaneously as an unregistered broker, exchange, and clearing agency. This role involves soliciting customers, managing orders, enabling bids, and acting as an intermediary. The lawsuit points out that Coinbase has merged three functions typically separated in traditional securities markets. At the same time, it never registered with the SEC as a broker, national securities exchange, or clearing agency. This has allowed the company to avoid disclosure regimes established by Congress for the country's securities markets. Gensler pointed out that Coinbase's alleged failures deprived investors of crucial protections, such as rulebooks that prevent fraud and manipulation, proper disclosure, safeguards against conflicts of interest, and regular inspection by the SEC. The lawsuit also referred to specific Coinbase products such as Prime, Wallet, and its staking program, along with the actual tokens it lists, as areas where the company violated securities laws, so coins and services. The SEC alleges that Coinbase was aware of some of the cryptocurrencies that it made available to the U.S. could be considered securities. The regulator pointed to Coinbase's Crypto Ratings Council as evidence of this awareness. The council was designed to establish an informal system for assessing whether a cryptocurrency was a security. Coinbase allegedly identified problematic statements made by issuers, which could suggest that the issued token was a security. Some of the cryptocurrencies identified as securities in the lawsuit include Solana, Cardano, Polygon, and Sandbox. Coinciding with the SEC's actions, state regulators from Alabama, California, Illinois, Kentucky, Maryland, New Jersey, South Carolina, Vermont, Washington, and Wisconsin issued a show cause order against Coinbase. This order alleges Coinbase violated securities laws by offering its staking rewards program accounts to Alabama residents without proper registration to offer or sell those securities. Coinbase has been given 28 days to show cause why they should not be directed to cease and desist from selling unregistered securities in Alabama. Furthermore, the Alabama Securities Commission mentioned that Coinbase's almost 3.5 million staking rewards program accounts nationwide are not insured by the FDIC or the Securities Investors Protection Corporation. As a result, there is no protection from loss for any of these accounts, including over 33,000 accounts held by Alabama investors. The SEC lawsuit against Coinbase and the show cause order issued by the Multi-State Task Force, they're part of an increasing regulatory scrutiny of cryptocurrency exchanges. The news of the lawsuit led to a fall in the entire crypto market as well as Coinbase's pre-market stock price. But that wasn't the only reason for the fall. Because speaking of lawsuits, another major crypto exchange is also facing legal challenges. China's state broadcaster, CCTV, reportedly aired a segment criticizing Binance. They accused one of the world's largest crypto exchanges of facilitating money laundering activities and market manipulation. The segment featured an interview with a former Binance employee who alleges that the exchange intentionally used trading strategies to exploit unsuspecting investors. Additionally, the company claimed Binance did not have adequate know your customer and anti-money laundering procedures in place. The broadcast raised concerns about Binance's operations in China as the country has been cracking down on cryptocurrency-related activities. Now, as we covered here last night, the SEC filed a lawsuit against Binance. Their suit alleges the exchange engaged in illegal activities and violated securities laws. The SEC complaint outlined several allegations, including the misuse of customer funds for various purposes. There is a parallel here to what was previously reported in relation to FTX. The document highlighted instances where Binance allegedly transferred customer funds to its affiliated entities and then used those funds to secure loans. These actions are improper, and they are harmful to customers' interests, as we have seen. The SEC lawsuit further alleges Binance's chief executive officer, CZ, and other executives knowingly violated securities registration requirements by offering and selling cryptocurrency-related products without registering them with the SEC. The complaint emphasized that such offerings should comply with applicable laws in order to ensure investor protection and market integrity. The SEC sought permanent injunctions, disgorgement of ill-gotten gains, and civil penalties against Binance and its executives. These legal actions have caused significant repercussions for Binance, with some regulators taking proactive measures. Following the SEC's lawsuit, the Japan Financial Services Agency issued a warning to Binance. They said that the exchange was operating without proper registration in the country. The FSA cautioned Japanese residents against using Binance's services. They highlighted the potential risks associated with unregulated cryptocurrency platforms. Furthermore, several major banks, including Barclays and Santander, reportedly suspended their customers' payments to Binance. These banks cited concerns over compliance with regulatory requirements and the need to protect customers from potential fraud or financial risks associated with Binance's operations. This development adds to the challenges faced by Binance as it seeks to maintain its position in the global cryptocurrency market. The recent controversies surrounding Binance have intensified the debate around regulation in the cryptocurrency industry. Critics argue the decentralized nature of cryptocurrencies makes them susceptible to abuse, and they call for stricter oversight and enforcement of existing laws. Proponents, on the other hand, stress the importance of fostering innovation and creating a balanced regulatory framework that protects investors without stifling technological advancements. As the legal proceedings unfold and regulators take action, the future of Binance remains uncertain. These allegations and lawsuits against the exchange raised concerns about its compliance with regulatory requirements, customer protection, and overall transparency. These developments serve as a reminder of the evolving landscape of the crypto industry and the need for increased scrutiny to ensure the long-term stability and legitimacy. Now, while some crypto exchanges are facing legal hurdles, others are making strides in regulatory compliance. The CFTC has given its approval for Cboe Clear Digital, a subsidiary of Cboe Digital Exchange, to clear additional products as a derivatives clearing organization. This amended order of registration allows Cboe Clear to offer clearing services for digital asset futures on a margined basis for futures commission merchants. The approval builds upon previous authorization for fully collateralized futures and fully collateralized swaps. Cboe Digital Exchange is already registered as a designated contract market with the CFTC. This latest measure enables Cboe to expand its clearing of futures contracts on cryptocurrency assets while remaining within the traditional structure of the U.S. futures intermediated market. CFTC Commissioner Christy Goldsmith Romero expressed her support for the order. She emphasized the importance of risk management and responsible practices in the crypto space. She noted that Cboe demonstrated a commitment to operating within the existing regulatory framework and engaging with regulatory authorities. Romero contrasted their application with that of FTX, because FTX had proposed a disintermediated, direct-to-customer market structure. She highlighted the need to bring crypto activities into the regulated space to protect customers while maintaining oversight, accountability, transparency, and risk management. According to Romero, many crypto firms have attempted to replicate unregulated business models or market structures within the regulated environment. However, Cboe has taken a different approach by actively addressing concerns related to risk and implementing risk mitigating measures. The collaboration between Cboe, the CFTC staff, and Romero's office has facilitated constructive engagement and ensured compliance with regulatory standards. From regulatory approvals to bankruptcy proceedings, let's move on to the ongoing saga of Genesis. The mediation session between Genesis and its creditors was initially scheduled to end in May. This has been extended to June 16th by U.S. Bankruptcy Court Judge Sean Lane. This decision came during a bankruptcy hearing held on Monday. The extension was prompted by growing concerns regarding the possible role of Genesis's parent company, the Digital Currency Group. There are concerns about their role in the financial restructuring of the lender. These concerns led to the prolongation of the mediation session. Earlier in the year, negotiations between Genesis and its creditors fell through. Following this, on May 1st, Judge Lane assigned a mediator to oversee the proceedings. Judge Lane emphasized the complexity of bankruptcy discussions. He said that a multitude of different types of conversations need to occur. He added that it's impossible to negotiate everything simultaneously. This underscores the challenges inherent to such proceedings. However, not all parties were pleased with the decision to extend the mediation session. Some of Genesis's creditors, including Gemini, expressed their dissatisfaction with the judge's decision. Genesis filed for bankruptcy in the Southern District Court of New York back in January. Lawyers representing Gemini argued that prolonging negotiations could potentially worsen the situation for those most adversely impacted by the bankruptcy. Genesis stopped its operations in November following the multi-billion-dollar failure of one of its borrowers, specifically the cryptocurrency exchange FTX. In response, Gemini halted withdrawals from accounts tied to its crypto lending product, Gemini Earn. Customers of Gemini Earn have also experienced negative effects due to Genesis' financial situation. They voiced their objections during the hearing. They expressed their discontent with the judge's decision to extend the mediation period. As we navigate the complexities of bankruptcy proceedings, let's shift our focus to the legislative sphere, where cryptocurrency taxation is under scrutiny. U.S. Congressmen Brad Sherman and Stephen Lynch have written to the heads of the Treasury and Internal Revenue Service, pushing for the introduction of tax regulations for the cryptosphere. They addressed their letter to the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen and IRS Commissioner Daniel Werfel. In that letter, they expressed their concerns about the current tax compliance practices in the crypto sector. They argue that, for a long time now, the cryptocurrency industry has been a significant contributor to tax evasion and a considerable portion of the nation's tax gap. Sherman and Lynch referred to an audit report from September 2020 by the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration. This report highlighted the IRS's difficulty in identifying taxpayers who favor cryptocurrencies due to insufficient reporting mechanisms. In their letter, they emphasized that the crypto industry has been a major source of tax evasion and contributes significantly to the nation's tax gap. Furthermore, the congressman drew attention to the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. That's a bipartisan infrastructure bill signed into law by President Joe Biden in November of 2021. This act mandates the reporting of cryptocurrency transactions starting in 2023. However, Sherman and Lynch noted that the regulations proposed to enforce this requirement have not yet been put into effect. Sherman and Lynch have therefore called for swift action in releasing these proposed regulations. They believe that this move is necessary to close the tax gap and to ensure full tax compliance within the crypto industry. In May, the Biden administration made renewed efforts to impose a 30% digital asset mining energy tax, or DAME tax, on cryptocurrency miners. This proposal was initially put forward as part of Biden's fiscal year 2024 budget in March of 2023. However, the proposed tax on crypto mining was not included in the May legislation aimed at increasing the U.S. debt ceiling. While that may look like it's the end of the 30% tax on crypto mining, those in favor of cryptocurrencies regard this as a temporary situation. Nick Carter is the co-founder of Coinmetrics. He anticipates the administration will attempt to reintroduce the tax in a future omnibus bill. As of now, the White House has not responded to queries regarding its intentions to pursue the DAME tax. So from taxation to the broader question of the need for cryptocurrencies, let's hear from the SEC chair. SEC Chair Gary Gensler publicly stated that there is no need for more digital currencies. He expressed this sentiment on live television, and in doing so, he emphasized that many of the world's major currencies, including the US dollar, the euro, and the yen, are already digital. Gensler's statements were made following the SEC's announcement of the lawsuits against Binance and Coinbase. During his appearance, Gensler addressed the public directly. He critiqued the operations of the trading platforms. He pointed out the blending of the various functions in their operations, contrasting it with traditional finance, where, for instance, the New York Stock Exchange does not also run a hedge fund or engage in market-making activities. In the specific case of Binance, Gensler mentioned accusations of having a sister organization flood the platform with wash trading transactions. This accusation, among others, mirrors previous charges laid against FTX and Alameda Research. Those charges included the blending of money and customer assets, misuse of customer funds, and possible manipulation of the market for native tokens. So we've heard this song before. Gensler said the lawsuits against Coinbase and Binance were not sudden, but the result of extensive investigative work. He said that building a case like this, as detailed in a 136-page complaint, takes time and involves thorough, meticulous investigation. Coinbase and Binance have been in conflict with U.S. regulators for a significant period of time. Gensler claims that he and his colleagues have attempted dialogues with these platforms and many others to encourage regulatory compliance. However, he said the industry is constructed on a business model of non-compliance with U.S. securities laws, thus leading to a cat-and-mouse dynamic between regulators and these platforms. Oh, Gensler, SEC's masked marauder, fighting for the good of, well, that's up for debate. Regulation by enforcement, you say? It's more like banning by enforcement. And I don't call it beneficial. No, this is the kind of thing where innovation gets stifled, where financial freedom gets locked in the cellar, and the key gets thrown away. You've got Gensler standing there atop the SEC's ivory tower complaining, we don't need more digital currency. We already have digital currency. It's called the US dollar. Now that's like saying we don't need streaming because we have cable, or we don't need electric cars because we have horse-drawn carriages. Way to embrace the future. Oh, and let's not forget, he's got the audacity to sue Binance and Coinbase for operating unregistered securities exchanges, all the while claiming he's not muddying the legal position around crypto. Well, I'm not a mind reader, but I'd say if you were to ask Binance and Coinbase, they might beg to differ, and so might the rest of us who just want clarity in the crypto space, not a fog machine cranked up to 11. But it doesn't stop there. He's out there trying to prove that thousands of tokens tradable on these platforms resemble investment contracts that should have been registered with his agency. He says, all we have to show is that one of them is a security and they should be properly registered. Well, here's a newsflash, Gary. Maybe those tokens are more than just a mere means of payment. Maybe they represent a whole new way of doing business, of decentralizing power, and issuing in a new age of financial freedom. But I guess that doesn't fit in your one-size-fits-all dollar-centric worldview now, does it? And when it comes to compliance, he's all, these intermediaries need to come into compliance. Sure, Gary, I won't argue with you there. Compliance is important. But you know what else is important? Fairness, flexibility. How about understanding that crypto isn't just a square peg you can force into a round, SEC-shaped hole. It's a whole new shape altogether, and it's time that you recognize that. In short, Gensler, your approach is not just an overreach, it's a full-on stranglehold. And the only thing you're clear about is that you've got an agenda that's more about power and control than it is about protecting investors or fostering innovation. So how about you take a step back, take off those central banker glasses, and take a good hard look at what crypto has really got to offer. Because right now, all you're offering is frustration, confusion, and a one-way ticket back to the financial dark ages. But hey, the dinosaurs didn't see it coming either. And that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank you, my listeners, because when you stop listening, I will stop talking. If you enjoyed tonight's show, then please like, follow, subscribe, leave a rating, or maybe a review. And in the meantime, we'll see you tomorrow night.